Yes, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little stream for you lads and lasses. We're here for the latest Manchester United news of the day. It's lunchtime, it's Monday, it's the 23rd of June 2025. How are we all doing today? Thank you very much for joining us and getting in here. We've got lots to get into. And, of course, we'll have a big Q&A at the end of the video as well. Big up the live chat legends. St. Michael, Naz, Compost Smurf, Mexico Vice, let's go. Tom Porter, how you doing there? Welcome aboard. Who else have we got in here? Nesev. Get in there, my son. Thank you, Nesev. Appreciate that. Glad you like him, lad. Tim Porter, Compost, Arctic Jacko, UK Strange, Baker, Ruthless Sausage, and everybody who's in here. Thank you very much for joining us and getting in here. Do us a favour at the start of this one, then. Smash that like button on it. Give us a huge thumbs up. Share us around if you want. You can repost us using the link pinned at the top of the live chat there. Get in. I've just woken up, guys. Not long anyway. Obviously was on FIFA late last night as well on the gaming channel. Pretty shattered, and still very annoyed about the situation with Alejandro Garnacho. What a little prat. We're going to get into the fallout of it in a moment. But yes, welcome aboard, everyone. Disco Dave, how you doing? We need to sort a lot of stuff out, don't we? It's closer, Naz. Yo, let's get stuck in. So, welcome in, everybody. Hope you're having a great day so far. Look, obviously, Man United are trying to get deals done still for Mbuemo. There's an expected round of negotiations coming very soon. Great. Hopefully get that done. Probably be 1st of July. Look, we'll see. In regards to Mbuemo, I'm sick and tired of talking about it, to be honest with you. I'm not having a bad day, Tim. Not been up long. Either. He's got to go, doesn't he? He's got to go, lad. I agree. As a Villa fan, you love Garnacho. Oh, I bet you do. Here, would you take him at Aston Villa then, Shammy? You know, with the attitude he's shown. To be fair, he's a great player, isn't he? He's a very good young player with big prospects, and he's done some great things in a couple of years at United. Let's face it, came as a youngster, sort of ate the pressure up for dinner, but he hasn't been able to do it under Amorim. He doesn't really fit in Amorim's team. You know, it's clear, and also his attitude is just a little bit poor. He's got CR7 vibes when he's nowhere near CR7's level. How you doing, Mikhail Kramer? Yes, lad, get in there, you legend. Ali Abdullah as well, let's go. Stephen Maguire, yes, lad. Legends. If you're just getting in, smash the like, or if you're on catch-up later as well, get yourself involved down below in the comments section. Let us know what you think about this whole Garnacho debacle and anything else we discuss in this video. But let's just cover what's going on here, right? So, obviously, just to begin, I mean, I'm very disappointed with the lad. It's not the fact that he wants to leave Manchester United. If that's what his heart desires and he wants to go somewhere else, he's not happy playing for Amorim, or not happy with the maybe lack of chances, or not getting selected in the Europa League final, or just falling out of favour, or just falling out of love with Manchester United, whatever the case may be. I don't really have a problem with that. If he wants to leave, and he wants to leave graciously, and he wants to leave in the proper manner and help us generate cash, and he can go and we transfer him away, that's fine. It's a sad day when you lose a young prospect like that. It doesn't work out for whatever reason, attitude or whatever, differences with the manager, whatever. But it's a sad day, obviously, because he is a very good player, and I've always thought he'll turn out to be a fantastic player. But let's face it, his attitude stinks. And you can go and you can leave this club graciously. You should leave this club graciously. You shouldn't leave this club by taking a dump on the doormat as you leave, which is essentially what Alejandro Garnacho is doing here. You know, he knows what he's doing, guys. He knows what he's doing by posting a Aston Villa shirt. He knows what he's doing, guys. On his Instagram there, some holiday snaps. Here I am, wearing a rival team's shirt. You know, what sort of message is he trying to say? I think it's clear. He obviously is trying to piss a few people off. He's trying to antagonise. He's trying to ruffle a few feathers on his way out. Why would you do that? Keep your head down. Shut up. Post a picture of yourself in a Man United shirt. Also, you know, think about it from our perspective. We can't be happy as a club to have Alejandro Garnacho, you know, doing this on social media and stuff, because it doesn't really look good if you're a buying club either. You know, it might actually put a few clubs off. But look, here's a report from Marco Alcaraz earlier on. Just says that United are reportedly unhappy with Alejandro Garnacho's Instagram post last night. Oh, I bet! The club are pushing for a swift sale amid wider concerns over a lack of cultural awareness in the squad, and are determined to clamp down on player misconduct. Well, that's exactly what we've got to do. You know, we've seen this a few times now, this sort of thing, you know, with players speaking out of turn or doing silly things like this. We've seen it with the likes of Sancho. And this is no different, really. Obviously, Alejandro Garnacho is undermining the club. He's disrespecting the fan base. And he's just being an ultimate shithouse, really. And, you've got to admire the bollocks on him, to be fair. You kind of have to admire the bollocks because, he knew he was going to wind up a lot of people by doing this. So just in case you missed it, I'm sure you didn't, obviously, we spoke about it last night anyway, but look, this is the twat right here, wearing an Aston Villa shirt, chilling with his Ferrari and his Lambo or whatever, on holiday. Yeah, nice. Do you know what's funny? I'll tell you what's funny, guys. So apparently, Garnacho and Rashford aren't even really that close. That's the reports I understand. I mean, this is via Samuel Luckhurst, who says that despite Marcus Rashford's "my brother" comment on Alejandro Garnacho's latest Instagram post, the pair have only ever socialised during Man United team bonding dinners. One of Rashford's inner circle also dubbed him a fucking Ronaldo wannabe. Quality. That's absolutely quite well. There you go. He is a bit of a Ronaldo wannabe, isn't he? Of course he is. But in regards to this sort of situation here, yeah. I mean, maybe Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho are not even that close. I mean, Rashford's obviously a lot older. Garnacho's a little bit of a silly, annoying little kid. And the two of them probably never really did socialise that much. Who knows? I mean, obviously, this is a report via Samuel Luckhurst that says that they didn't. Which, let's just read into that for a second, right? So, if he's wearing his brother's shirt, Rashford, and it's an Aston Villa shirt on his social media, and he's not even that friendly with Marcus, I mean, that's literally just to send a message to piss people off and to say, I'm out of it, That's literally all it is. It's not I'm supporting my friend Marcus Rashford. No. I mean, if you were going to support your friend Marcus Rashford, you'd literally wear a Manchester United Rashford shirt anyway. But for the sake of this situation, he's just doing it to piss people off, isn't he? There you go. He's not even that matey with Rashford. And obviously Rashford commented on it straight away. First comment from Rashy or whatever. My brother. So it's just strange. It's very strange. I mean, I've never heard of anything like it, really. I've never heard of players doing this. I've never heard of any other sport or any other, not even any other walk of life where you could do this, really. Jill at Sainsbury's does not post herself on social media wearing a Tesco clobber. That's the reality. It's strange. So there you go. But maybe they're not even that friendly. This is a report for Samuel Luckhurst, so, fair enough. I mean, if that's the case, it just goes to show you what a little prat Garnacho really is. So he's also reportedly been told, obviously, anyway, to find a new club after posting an Aston Villa shirt on Instagram. But he was told to find a new club anyway. We obviously knew that he was leaving. It's expected that Ruben Amorim was not going to even take him on the tour regardless of this situation, but now he's definitely not coming on the plane, is he? See you later on, Gashford, mate. You're left back in the changing room, pal. But certainly he can't be coming now, and also we will be looking for a new club for him as soon as possible. I know he was one of those players that was high up on the list to sell anyway, to generate cash, and was expected to even leave, but now there is a real sense that he's going to be, well, not made an example of, because, we still got to try and sell him, but maybe we'll sell him for even just a little bit less money, or just to get a deal done very quickly at the start of the summer to get this toxic little melt out. I was always on the Alejandro Garnacho bandwagon. I always really rated Alejandro Garnacho, and I still think he's going to go on to be a great player. But in terms of his attitude, it's clearly stinking up the gaff. You look at this situation, it's awful. I can almost get over what he said after the game in the Europa League final, where he's come out and said United was shit all season and he doesn't know why he wasn't selected and undermining the manager. I can almost forgive it if he was prepared to say, look, I was in the wrong, I was just passionate and, I had an outburst, whatever, and he repairs things with Amorim. I could almost handle that. But you can't come back from something like this, mate, posting in another team's shirt. But anyway, Alejandro Garnacho has been told to find a new club after posting an Aston Villa shirt on Instagram, a move fans deemed disrespectful, and interest reportedly comes from Chelsea and Napoli. Interesting. So Chelsea, Napoli interest. There's also lots of other interest we're going to get into in a moment, but it does seem like he is wanted, and he would be wanted by a couple of different clubs. So just sell them out. Get out of our football club then, Alejandro Garnacho. What a prat. Winding people up, wearing Aston Villa shirts. It's an absolute disgrace and a disrespect. So that's a report that says that perhaps the likes of Chelsea and Napoli are interested in Garnacho. We've talked about the possibility of him going to Napoli. They're apparently interested in a lot of our left-sided players there up top there. The likes of Garnacho, the likes of Rashford and Sancho. They're all linked with Napoli. Actually, Rashford's not linked with Napoli, is he? That's something I've made up. But he should be linked with Napoli is what I'm saying. He should be linked with Napoli, but no, I've just made that up. Sancho is linked with Napoli. That's who's linked with Napoli. But in terms of what he wants and where he wants to go, this could prove a little bit of a stumbling block for us to be able to sell him. Because if he does want to stay in the Premier League, then we're going to have to get a little bit more money for him. We don't want to just give him to a Premier League rival on the cheap. So there are reports, there was reports a week ago, this is from Fab a week ago, that said that Alejandro Garnacho's priority is to stay in the Premier League while he's set to leave Man United this summer. Despite Bayer Leverkusen interest and Ten Hag's appreciation, the deal looks complicated and the Premier League is the player's first choice. Okay, so it doesn't mean he's going to be staying here. United probably won't want to do business with him staying in the Premier League. But if there is an offer from the likes of Napoli, or maybe United can do something, maybe they'll give us a deal on one of their players. Aston Villa, probably not. But let's just say they could sign Garnacho for reasonable money. How much do you think we could get for Garnacho, guys? I still think I still think he is a £50 million player. He's got to be. He's got bags of potential. He's got to be 50 million. And if he wasn't such a shithouse, and if it also wasn't Man United and it was a different team, he'd probably be worth 70 million. But because of our situation, everyone knows we're desperate. We struggle to sell players. And also because of his attitude and what he's shown the last 6 months, season or so, and obviously very recently with this stuff, you've got to say he's looking like a bit of an ego, bit of a prima donna. Yeah, divas. Arctics United, you long-time legend, yes. Yeah, divas thinking they're world-class. No one wants you fools. That's it. Divas, lad. That's it. He needs to have a Snickers, lad. No one likes you when you're a bit diva-ish, you know what I mean? 45 million, 299 would take 20 million, 35 million at this point. Wow. 25 million, wow. Yep, great potential, not a 10 and not a wing, but that's it. It just doesn't fit into Amorim's system. That's the reality of it. It's a shame, but that's the truth, and that's why he's going, really. And to be fair to Amorim, he still had him involved even in a lot of the games throughout the season, even if he doesn't really fit in his system. Maybe out of necessity, but still. Not too bad. Chris Byrne, thank you for asking. Not been up long. Finn, get in there, says 35 million, 40 million. Yes. Let's go. 793, how do? Fancy wearing that bog roll ashtray vial top? Sack him, lad. He's unclean now. Oh, exactly, lad. You don't think the club disrespected him? No, I don't. How had the club disrespected him there, Flip? Kid wore a shirt. He wore a rival shirt, lad. It's crazy. But, how has the club disrespected him? They appointed a new manager who, has a different vision. He obviously plays with the number 10s. He's still given Garnacho lots of opportunities throughout the season and played a lot of games. Garnacho wasn't tremendous. He tried to give him an opportunity there. And then after the Europa League final, he threw his toys out the pram that he wasn't selected. Spoke publicly afterwards in interviews, posted on Instagram, all this guff, undermining the manager. I don't think he's been disrespected by the football club at all. He's the one who has disrespected us. 50 million should be easy. I think so too. I think 50 million, guys. How can we sell a player like Garnacho for 50 million? If Garnacho played for Nottingham Forest, he'd be a 50 or 60 million pound player. If Garnacho played for Brentford, he'd be a 50 or 60 million pound player. So why the hell can't we get that? Won't get more than 35. I'm not so sure about that. I think we'll get plenty more than that. I think we'll get 50, 55 easy, very young. And Prem proven, yeah, kind of Prem proven. And let's face it, the season before last, tremendous. Reached his peak already. Well, who knows? You've got to have the right mentality to go on and develop. We've seen many a player get given too much too soon, think they're the next best thing, think he's the next CR7, and then they don't progress and develop at the rate that they should. We've seen that time and time again with players. It does depend a lot on the mentality of these players and if they're elite and if they want to work very hard. And that's it. He maybe strikes me as a player that does think he's a little bit of a ideas above his station merchant. And plus also, look at his fucking haircut, mate. I'm sorry, but only knobs have that hairdo. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is it? It's crazy, mate. He's always a sus individual with his haircuts, guys. It has to be said. Not that it really matters. We had Beckham at the club who changed this every fucking week. But you know what I mean? Okay, so let's talk about this for a second here. Garnacho wants Prem stay. Yes, we've just mentioned that. But look at this. So we've talked about the Leverkusen link, and I would imagine that it's true. This is from Miguel Delaney. It says Eric Ten Hag has identified Garnacho, Nana, and Malacia as players of interest. I can't imagine the latter two are of interest. But according to sources within his inner circle, he attempted to discuss Diogo Dalot, but apparently was laughed at. Right, this was a while ago, this update. But Garnacho, Ten Hag, let's let the reunion happen. To be fair to Garnacho, he did do well when Erik Ten Hag was at the club, didn't he? And as far as whether or not he would be interested in going, I don't think he would. I don't think he would want to go to Leverkusen. You know why? Because Garnacho's a little prima donna, egomaniac, diva prat bag. Isn't he? Clearly, of course he is. He is. Look at him. Look what he's doing. Look how he acts. Look how he... Come on, he's a sulking individual. So I don't think he wants to go play for Bayer Leverkusen. It's not cool enough. He wants to play for someone who's got the esteem, the name, the reputation. He wants to go and play probably, for a Napoli. Go and hang out with his mate Scotty. Play with De Bruyne. Hang out with Conte. Whatever. Do what he's doing. And just have a good old time of it there in a prestigious club. I can't imagine, no disrespect to Bayer Leverkusen. I'm just simply saying that they're not a huge football club, brand-wise, compared to some of these other clubs. Manchester United being one of them. So for him, obviously, he'd like a little bit of Real Madrid action. That would be Alejandro Garnacho's dream move, because, that's CR7's next destination after Manchester United. He'd love to re-follow Cristiano's career. And but there's only one problem there. You're not Cristiano Ronaldo, Alejandro. And there's no way in friggin' Nora's eyelid that they're coming in for a bid for him, is there? Come on. He's not good enough really at this stage. He is very, very good and talented. But is he? He's not ready to go and do what Ronaldo did and go and join Real Madrid, and dislodge Vinny Jr. Do you know what I'm saying, guys? It's a totally different end of the spectrum here. Cristiano Ronaldo was miles ahead. He won the frigging Ballon d'Or at United. Okay, this guy's won a goal award, a Puskás award. It's just one strike, lad. It was a great goal. But it's not the same. This guy thinks he's actually got the bottle to be, a top-class CR7 type player. And I don't think he has, to be fair. I don't think he has, because he doesn't have the right attitude, in my opinion. I mean, let's face it, Cristiano Ronaldo had a bit of swagger about him, didn't he? He had a bit of arrogance about him. He had a bit of petulance about him. Let's be real. But he also was undeniably immense on the pitch. And Garnacho, this last 6 months, I mean, he's been pretty garbage. Yes, how you doing, Tommy Boyle? Welcome in, you legend. Yes, come on. And thank you, everyone, for getting in as well. Do us a favour if you're just joining the stream. Smash the like button. We've already hit 100 likes. Big up the mighty Bacon Brigade for smashing the likes already. Every like helps the channel and helps push us out there. So smash the like if you're just getting in. It's free. Also, get yourself subscribed to the channel. We're nearly at 91,000 subscribers. Give us a cheeky little subscribe if you're new. Get involved. We'd love to hear from you legends as well in the chat. So come and have your say. Tommy says, was the Villa shirt a gift? Are the media reading too much into it, maybe? Perhaps he just got out of the shower, needed to pop out to his car, grab something, just check the shirt, pop the shirt on to pop out. Oh, yeah, and he's told his friend, hey, just take a picture of me while I pop out to the car. Even if it was a gift, right? Let's say it's a personally mailed gift by Rashford. Isn't he on holiday, right? He's not even at home. Is that correct? He's on holiday, isn't he? So he's fucking packed it. He's bloody packed it, mate. To wear it. He's also said, hey, take a picture of me facing backwards with Rashford on it. Either that or I'm sure his friend's taking it or whatever, but either that or he's literally set up a tripod with a timer and then taking a picture of himself. I hope it's not that one, because that's even more sad. But no, in all fairness, right, so even if it is a gift from Marcus Rashford, it doesn't excuse the absolute complete stupidity of wearing a rival football club shirt, even if it does have Rashford on it. And actually, you know what? I would go as far as to say this. My gut feeling is that it wasn't even a gift. My gut feeling is he's gone on www.discountfootballshirts for lightbulb-headed, haircutted individual-prats.com, and he's ordered one, especially for this fucking photograph, mate. Yeah. That's my personal opinion. I think he's gone on and he's ordered something for himself there just to take this picture to wind people up. That's my personal opinion. That's my hunch. I don't have any proof for that, guys. Of course, I don't know this. I'm just saying. I can't imagine that he's been gifted that by Rashford. Who knows? Apparently, they're not even that close. So there you go. But yeah, no, as I was mentioning earlier, this report from Samuel Lutko says, despite Rashford's "my brother" comment and Alejandro Garnacho's latest Instagram post, the pair have only ever socialised during MUFC team bonding dinners. One of Rashford's inner circle also dubbed him a fucking Ronaldo wannabe. for your summer. Like I said, so, you know, that's it, really, guys. He's obviously a little bit of a prat, and you can't be excusing this level of shithousery. I'm sorry to say. So look, we have to do one thing, really. One thing. Set an example. Sell immediately. Would be lovely if he was the first outgoing player of the summer, just to prove a point, just to make a point, just to get out of our football club there, Alejandro Garnacho, for disrespecting the fan base and the football club. There's no way United higher-ups are happy about this. Come on. Nobody's happy about this at the football club. They'll be fuming, I'd imagine. They've got a player who they are paying money to, huge money, contracted to the football club, and he's repping another team's brand. He's repping another team. Pretty crazy. Maybe there's some thought of him moving to Aston Villa. What do you reckon of that, guys? If he does want to stay in the Premier League, we've heard there's interest from the likes of Chelsea, maybe. But Aston Villa could do a deal with us with a player coming in the opposite direction, i.e. Ollie Watkins, Martinez, which means that it could benefit both of us. Ordinarily, we probably wouldn't be able to make this happen because Aston Villa don't have a lot of money to spend at this moment in time. But if we consider the fact that either they pay us 50 million for Garnacho and then we buy Martinez back off them for 30 million or some sort of swap deal with money, then it could actually happen because it wouldn't be too much of an initial investment for Aston Villa if they're getting money back from us for one of their other players going out, such as a Martinez in goal. So that actually is, I think, the most realistic Premier League destination for Alejandro Garnacho to end up at, because of that reason, because we want a couple of their players. They don't have a lot of money to spend this summer. Maybe they can get him at a slight cut price because of the situation here with Man United looking to sell him. Not a lot less than what he would have been, but maybe 45 million, somewhere in that region, and then they can sell us Martinez for 25-30 million, and it's not cost them a lot of money. And plus, Garnacho's wages are not astronomical. They're not crazy. The whole reason they can't really go ahead with the Rashford deal is just simply down to the wages more than anything. They technically could maybe afford some sort of a structured deal for Rashford's initial fee, but then his wages are just such a drain on their resources every single month, and it's not in keeping with their salary structure at all. So they can't really get Rashford. But Garnacho, yes, they could get Garnacho, and Emery would be pretty good, I think, for Garnacho, and I think Garnacho would be pretty good for Emery. Honestly, I think that'd be the perfect club for him to go to, actually. If he still wants to continue to develop and do well, what a good coach to play for, and I think that would probably fit him down to the ground. So I could see that happening if he stays in the Premier League. There's reports that we've mentioned that he would rather stay in the Premier League. Fabrizio Romano said last weekend that he wants a Prem stay. So if that's the case, there's only a couple of clubs probably that could take him. I don't know. I mean, I guess there'd be a few interested in him. I guess there would be. But Chelsea, Aston Villa, they're expected to be the ones that might have the most interest. Beyond that, you're looking outside the Premier League. You're looking at a couple of clubs in Italy, maybe. The likes of Juventus, the likes of Napoli. So I'll ask the chat just for a bit of fun. Obviously, we don't have a crystal ball. It's hard to predict. But where do you think we will sell Alejandro Garnacho? Who do you think we'll sell Alejandro Garnacho to? I think Aston Villa, actually. I'm going to just go and take a punt on Aston Villa at this stage. It's very early, but they're not going to be doing a lot of business. They can sell us a player. We can sell them Garnacho. You scratch my back, we'll scratch yours. And so I think it could actually happen. But the best thing for United to do, obviously, would be not to keep him in the Premier League. If you let him go to a rival club, he is the sort of player that's just going to come back and bite you on the behind if you are not careful at some point, because he's obviously a very talented player and he's only young. I mean, the reality is, if he had a great attitude, and maybe he does in terms of on the football pitch and wants to work hard and be as best as he can be, but off the football pitch, he's a bit of a tit. But on it, if he has the right mentality, he could still go on to be one of the players that's one of the best, most awesome players in the world. He absolutely still has that potential to do that. So if he has the right mentality, Villa's a great club for him. Definitely. Trying to force a move. Oh, he's definitely trying to force a move, this shithouse, isn't he? Yes. Napoli, says Mikhail. Yep. Liverpool, says UK Strange. Newcastle. Hey up the Geordies. Yep. Wrexham. Aston Villa. Villa, Martinez for Garnacho. Yes, lad. St. Mirren, Martinez in cash for Garnacho. Yes, lad. Villa, there's more of that photo that just pisses off. Maybe, yeah, as well, if you think about it. If you are an Aston Villa sort of, I don't know, if you're Emery at Aston Villa, surely there is he's on the list, and this sort of picture It's doing the rounds. It's making news, and he's wearing a Villa shirt. You can't really argue with that. No, maybe Newcastle. We have the worst human beings in the world at our club, owners and players. Yeah, oh, yeah, very true. Well, some of these players are okay, but a lot of them do need to go. That's a fair point you just made there. There is a sense of it's time to get rid of these toxic diva, prima donna, egomaniac meltbags out. There is a sense of that this summer, isn't there? A changing of the guard from melters to actually, hard workers and non-egos. That's what you want. You want some players who really work hard and who keep their head down. So there is a sense of that. There is a sense that we'll be getting rid of Sancho and Garnacho and Rashford and a couple of melters who don't have the right mentality. That's so true. So, that's it. In terms of the players we've got a few bad eggs. And we need to get the bad eggs out, lad. Sell him to Como. Yep, Napoli. I rate that. No chance he's joining Villa. Why'd you say that then, UK Strange lad? You just think because they don't have the money? I mean, end of the day, they've got a couple of players we'd be interested in, though. And we might end up giving them some money back there for one of their players. Nothing worse for a club than a player sticking in the knife to the fans. Oh, I agree. Horrible. Horrible. Like we said, he's not just burned the bridge, he's napalmed the bridge with this situation, and then he's just going to get sold, and then his time at United, which would have been remembered very fondly, and who knows what happens in a few years. Who knows, maybe could have been back at the club if he developed really well and we're doing well and different manager, who knows. But now he's full on burning the bridges with Manchester United with this sorts of behaviour. Send him to Derby County, Saudi, can see Ten Hag coming in for Garnacho. Yeah, we're just talking about that. I mean, it's definitely feasible. It's definitely plausible as well. Like, they've got the money, and probably he has the interest. It makes a bit of sense. So it's just whether or not Garnacho would want to go to Leverkusen, because I don't think he would personally. Why do United players have such bad attitudes? Oh, I wish I knew. I think it's just like bad judgments over the years. Big wages given to these players as well. Overinflated egos, giving players too much too soon. Yep. Doing this, no club will want a player that will pull this stunt again if he wants to force a move. That's a good call as well. It is a bit off-putting. You can see him at Port Vale. When are we going to see Mr. Flying Pig HD return? You what? Same story, different year. It's just so true. There always seems to be some player causing us issues. There does. If you go back, it's like Rashford causing some issues. You've got, Sancho causing us issues. Cristiano Ronaldo doing interviews with Piers Morgan. And in the end he was right, and Erik Ten Hag's an absolute joke. But, still, there's always, Greenwood. Oh, there's just so many players causing us issues all the time. Can't they just get their heads down and work hard and be as good as they can be on the pitch for us? No, they have to be twats, don't they? Not all of them. We're just talking about a few, but this is it. Highlight the melters, get them out, replace them with hard-working, no-nonsense sort of individuals, even if they don't have as much talent or whatever you say. Because there's some things that are more important than just having talent alone. You do have to have a good mentality. Professional, etc. Cannot sell him and get goalkeeper. Come on, if you sell him, all that money must go for a striker. Depends, really. Depends who else we can sell. Obviously, Garnacho is expected to be one of the first out the door now with what's happened here as well. But still, we've got Højlund to try and get rid of. We've got Onana to try and get rid of. Mason Mount even is a possibility. Anthony Dos Santos is very saleable. So we can generate a good bit of money other than that. And let's face it, a goalkeeper might not cost that much. Martinez is reportedly valued around about 25 to 30 million. Goalkeepers just don't go for as much. I mean, look, Chelsea turned down paying more than 12 million for Mike Mainan. It's not like goalkeepers, obviously the top goalkeeper's going to cost a lot of money, but Young Kings Entertainment, thank you so much for hitting the subscribe button there. Yes, mate. Let's go, Young Kings. Yes, mate, we're only 60 subscribers away from 91,000 now, so get yourself subscribed if you're new. We're on here daily with the United news and also every single night, around about lunchtime and 10 p.m. Give us a subscribe, click the bell icon, smash the like, get yourself involved there. Nice one. 3 egotistical twats. The best interest is fashion. Oh, very true, lad. You're absolutely right. When you actually look at, and look, maybe I'm just jealous because I can't afford it with their designer clobber. Actually, that's bollocks. I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous at all. Even if I was minted, I wouldn't wear some of the fucking clown stuff that they would wear. Goodness me, you look at what Marcus Rashford wears. When he went to see that, was it Madison Square Garden? Where, I don't know, where he went over to some American basketball game. He was dressed like an absolute mammary of a man. What's going on? And also Alejandro Garnacho. It's like the style's just to look as much like a tosspot as you possibly can these days, it seems. You're absolutely right. Stylistically, they make me cringe, man. They're too interested in fashion and stuff. Where's the no-nonsense Roy Keane types, all right? Okay, we can live with a David Beckham if you're into fashion, if you're quality, if you're good enough. Of course we can. We don't care. We don't care. But the main thing is obviously how good you are for us. Yes, Kate Cadet, get the ego twats out. Absolutely, my son. Got the trifecta of troublemakers at the moment. Garnacho, Rashford and Sancho. That's it. Well, they should all hopefully be gone this summer. So Marcus Rashford at the moment, he's got his hands on the floor. He's twerking for Barcelona. He's backing up. He's trying to get himself a move away there. They're on the verge of signing Nico Williams. There's still interest from Bayern. But if he doesn't end up going to Bayern, then there's probably no room for Marcus Rashford, no money for Marcus Rashford there at Barca. So I think he's twerking in the wrong direction. I think he wants to spin around and start twerking over in Napoli's direction or in Juventus's direction, because I think that's maybe more realistic. I can't see him getting the dream move he wants. He's training in Spain right now, all Spanish friends, just to try and, I don't know, just to be ready, just to be there, just to show that he's working hard while this off-season's on. And what an absolute cringer. You know what I mean? He's cringing me out, guys, with his twerking and his come and get me attitude. Oh, I'd love to play. I'd love to play with Lamine Yamal. What a great player. Oh, I'd love to play with Lamine Yamal. Fuck off. Come on. Bloody hell, mate. It's just cringe. I like Ollie Watkins, Kieran. Yes, I do rate him. I think he'd be a good addition to the side, no doubt. Experienced Premier League player. It's good. Good player. Send him to the women's team. Garnacho intentionally lowering his price to move is diabolical. It could have that effect, couldn't it? It certainly could have that effect. It's very disconcerting if you're a buying team to have this level of shithousery from a player you were interested in looking at. Do you think Wirtz is going to be fire straight away or take a while to get used to the league? I hope he's going to be another Havertz where he takes a good while to get used to it, mate. I think ultimately he will be good, but let's hope he's Havertz-ing up. To be honest, he probably will be much better than that, won't he? The three amigos, yeah, true, except it's a different mantra. Not whenever there's injustice, we'll be there. No, it's whenever there's gashtastic fashion, we'll be there. Whenever there's shithousery, we'll be there. Whenever there's toxicity, we'll be there. We are the three amigos. You know what I mean? Garnacho for Morgan Rogers would be a good shout. Oh, love it. Love that link. That would be a great shout as well. Players used to be grateful and understand the privileged position they worked their asses off to get to. Now they get given too much and early spoils their attitude and aptitude. Let me tell you a story here, Tommy Boy, right? So my great-granddad was a professional footballer. He played for a couple of different teams. He played for Leicester City. He played for Bradford Park Avenue. I don't think they're even around anymore, are they? But basically Bradford Park Avenue were a team back in the day. Anyway, the point I'm saying this is he played in I think it was the 1910s or 20s or something like that, yeah? Like old school. I'm talking old school 1920s or something, right? And he used to get, for when he was playing at either Leicester or Bradford Park Avenue, whichever one, if they won, they would get a sovereign. And if they drew or lost, they would get the tram fare home. Basically, that's it. And they were professionals, and they just played because they loved to play and they wanted to play, and it was all about the representing your city and almost tribalness and obviously sport and competition and all the rest of it. But that's what they used to, back in 100 years ago, footballers would turn up, and if they actually won, he'd get his gold sovereign, and if he lost or drew, they'd just get the bloody fare home. That's the difference. That's the difference with players today. Players today are all about money. They're all about brand. They're all about how many clicks and likes I can get on Insta posting this fucking gashtastic picture of me wearing a Versace fucking handkerchief. You know what I mean? That's it, really. It's all a terrible mentality. It's a terrible mentality, really. Yeah. What does that mean, Man United baby? Where is your football skill video? I don't have a football skill video on YouTube. I got one on my Twitter, actually, pinned to the top of my Twitter there on X. Here it is, pinned to the top. You want to check it out? Me doing some keepy-uppies, lad. Nothing crazy. Beckham Mohawk was epic. Fair enough, but still, I'd rather my players didn't tit around with their hair all the time and were focused more on the task at hand and being footballers and playing. Tommy says, great story, dude. Thank you very much, lad. Yes. That's it. Rashford not good enough for Barca, just doesn't work hard enough. Maybe a lower league team. You blame the parents. Sancho was number 999 out of 1,000 in the Bonnie Blue Fin. Oh my God. Who was 1,000? Anyway, so let's have a little thought about this, right? So what was I going to say? Oh yes, Garnacho, interest across Europe as well. So it's not just the Premier League. There are obviously thoughts that he wants to stay in the Premier League. This is another report by Dean Jones, says Alejandro Garnacho knows he has interest from across Europe, but his preference is to succeed in the Premier League, even if it means at a different club to United. So Villa, Chelsea, could be even some other clubs interested in him. There's definite clubs interested in Italy as well, such as Napoli. And the understanding at the moment is that he's been told to find a new club. You know, I think that was the case anyway. United were trying to sell him. He's trying to force a move even quicker or for even cheaper or whatever he's trying to do. Wind everyone up, antagonise people on the way out, whatever he's doing. But he was already on the list to go. Now he's definitely getting sold straight away. And most of the interest, or at least some of the biggest reports, keep saying the same couple of names. Chelsea, Napoli, Chelsea, Napoli. So Chelsea could be interested in him. I wouldn't want to sell him to Chelsea, though. I think that'd be foolish. He'd probably do bits at Chelsea, and then he'd come back to haunt us many a time. So Napoli's the one for me. I don't care if we get 10 million less. I'd rather he went to Napoli, because it's out of our head then, isn't it? It doesn't affect us so much. Keeping him in the Premier League is going to cost us maybe in the future. It always seems to. We've had it with Elanga, we've had it with Welbeck, we've had it with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. You know, it's not ideal to let a player, especially a talented youngster like that, go to a rival team, because he'll probably do bits for them. You know, he probably will do bits for them, and we don't want that. His attitude's gash. He kind of fits into the Chelsea ethos, though, if you ask me. The Chelsea mentality. They like a couple of egomaniac bottle jobs over the years, don't they? You know, even some of their great players, like, let's face it, Eden Hazard at one point was absolutely sensational for Chelsea. But he also, at other times, showed what you can only describe as a bad attitude. You know, ego, and just sort of causing waves and all sorts of issues. It's not a good look. And also, if you think about a player like Eden Hazard, I can imagine Garnacho being like a Poundland Eden Hazard in the future. And what I mean by that is Eden Hazard had all the tools and all the potential to be right up there in the world with the likes of Messi and Ronaldo, in my opinion. He had all the attributes and potential and tools, but he didn't have the elite mentality that those guys have. I don't think he was a hard worker. I think he obviously had a bit of an ego problem. You know, he is reported to be one of the players that had a lot of a hand in, you know, Jose getting sacked off when they were languishing down there and they stopped playing. And then as soon as Jose went, they started playing again. You know, one of those sorts of melts. And obviously he has had a great career, Eden Hazard, but he could have had an even better career, is what I'm saying. And I don't even think Garnacho's going to achieve what Eden Hazard did, because let's face it, Eden Hazard still had a very, very great career. I'm just saying I think that Hazard could have been even more. He could have been even greater if he really had an elite mentality like a Cristiano Ronaldo or something. He had everything in terms of what you need to be a really super world-class attacking footballer, and just, you know, he was silky, creative, goal scorer, you know, all the rest of it. But he didn't have an elite mentality. That's my thoughts on him. Good afternoon there, Daz Salford. You're on your break. Lovely stuff, lad. Enjoy it. Let's go. How you doing today? Garnacho's done the club a favour and forced their hand. Yeah, true. Aren't Chelsea in for Gittins anyway? I mean, that's it. It depends how much funds they've got available, who else they're buying, who else they actually managed to complete on. Sell him to Wolves. One mercenary for another. Swap Garnacho for Thomas Lima. I like your style, lad. Arsenal will sign Gyökeres, confirmed. Confirmed by who? Chris Antonio? Who's that then? If you want to build your brand as a player, then surely Man United is the best club to be at for exposure, given the fan base we have and the media frenzy around the club. Why leave? Yeah, no, it is for expanding your brand. But you know what? If players are just coming here to expand their brand, I don't want them here anyway, mate. Okay, that is something that happens as a byproduct of being a Man United player. You are going to have instantly millions of extra people follow you on Instagram, and millions of people around the world know who you are, and millions of extra people interested in what you're doing. Of course. But that shouldn't be a reason to stay or go, mate, to be honest. And if it is, then you've got the shithouse Instagram mentality, don't you? And really what you should be thinking about is just playing football. It's just trying to focus on the football, you know. Oh, I really miss the days of the old school 90s Premier League, guys. Pre-Twitter, pre-Instagram, pre-social media. It was fucking amazing, wasn't it? Still, players were players. Players were players back then. And if you go back even further, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, it only gets manlier and manlier. The decades as the decades go back. It only gets more no nonsense and more working class and more fucking awesome. That's all it does. That's all that happens. It's what's going to happen in 30 years' time is what I want to know. Where's the Premier League going to be at 30 years' time? They'll probably make it a no-contact sport, and you'll probably have a draft like the NFL at the start of the season, and the teams will draft players based on how many Instagram followers they have. Do you know what I mean? That's probably what it's going to fucking come to, guys. Some sort of horrible shit show in the future. Anyway, Isaac, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel there, dude. I appreciate you, lad. Please show your subscribe account. I don't have my subscribe account on this particular thing for some reason. It doesn't work. If I go over to my watch along, it works. But for some reason, when I try and copy it across, it doesn't work. You see? There it is. 90,938. Get in there, my son. But on my news stream, it just doesn't work, mate. For some reason, I don't know why. I'm going to try and fix that. Yes, football was better. Proper football. That's it. 100%, lad. Was organic back then. So true. Those were the days. Yes. Okay, they're also coming to expand their wallets. That's fair. That's fair, but it wasn't as crazy as it is today. Currently doing bins at football pitches, looking for Garnacho and Rashi in the bins. Let's know if you find them. AI will take over. Said it before. Don't want anybody here who doesn't want to be here. Terry Butcher. Yes, blood-stained England shirt. They were the days. Oh, 100%. Nearly 91k, lad. Yeah, nearly. Get yourself subscribed if you do. We wouldn't know you and life without different laughing. Oh, that's true, actually, Vincent Bullock. Yeah, I'd be out of the job. You're not wrong there, lad. Without YouTube and stuff, I'd have to just go and stand on a soapbox, wouldn't I? Can't even tackle anymore. Oh, so true, mate. Vinnie Jones football, yeah. Oh, that's true, Disco Dave. Good call. Oh, my God, yeah, if they're not all burnt. Anyway. Right, okay, let's just have a look at a couple other bits and bobs. I mean, this is the only other thing that I really want to say, which is just because of Napoli as well. Napoli are linked to Højlund, they're linked to Garnacho, and they're linked to Sancho. They're not going to get all of them, you know, so they've got to make their minds up who they might want to go for out of those guys, really. I mean, maybe we could do them I said, you buy one, you get one free. I said, you buy one, you get one free. For every Alejandro Garnacho you buy, you get a Jadon Sancho absolutely free. Maybe we could do a bog-off deal for them, but I doubt it. So anyway, Napoli seemingly interested in all of our players. What's that all about? They've seen the Scott McTominay effect and they want a bit of that. Wouldn't it be so annoying if Garnacho went to Napoli and just absolutely balled out and they won the fucking Champions League and the Serie A title and he wins the Ballon d'Or? That would just tell you everything about Man United, really. But anyway, because look, McTominay's gone away from us and done amazing. You know, lots of players go away from us and do amazing. Anyway, I'm not going to fanny around like a massive fanny today. I'm going to have a look at the latest updates here, guys, from the journalists, just see if there's anything we've missed in regards to United players and transfer dealings. See if there's anything we've missed. Doesn't seem like it at the moment. Oh, hang on. Simon Stone. Ethan Wheatley made a good impression at the UEFA Under-19 European Champions, like a few Man United youngsters. Key decision to be made about his short-term future. Okay. So he's had a good tournament at the Under-19s European Championships. And apparently we are looking at maybe getting a cheeky little deal or something, maybe decide his future. That's the only news that's come out in the last however long. So let's get stuck into the live chat for a bit of a Q&A for a few minutes. Keep hitting the likes. We're nearly at 200 likes. Thank you, everyone who smashed the like button. Keep hitting the likes. And also get yourself involved here. Oh, yes. Surely there's a swap deal there for Napoli for Osimhen. Oh, yeah, I would like to think so as well. If you can get several players' wages off the books at the same time. You know, just imagine what, I don't know, maybe you wouldn't even have to pay anything for Osimhen if you were prepared to just let Garnacho and, say, Højlund go in the same direction at the same time. You never know. Any Mbuemo news? Not really. It's just the same situation. There's expected to be rounds of negotiations very soon for him. You know, another round of negotiations, and they'll hopefully reach an agreement then. I'm expecting July 1st is going to happen now. I think the delay has been all this PSR guff. I think for future seasons, it's very important that they actually move the date that this PSR updates and refreshes to the same time that the transfer window opens. Because all you're getting is just like clubs' unwillingness to actually move in the window. It's counterproductive. They need to just have it at the same time. Why wouldn't it? Just doesn't really make sense. Sancho will be working at McDonald's when his contract runs out. So he will definitely find it harder to find a club like Manchester United who's interested in him, and certainly nowhere near the wages that we're paying him. Paula, yeah, we're getting into the chat now. Let me just go and shout out everyone who's reposted us on X. Big up the legends who've reposted. You can follow us on X there. There's the link at the top. Let's take a look. So, Aidan Vickery, Sanjay Ramatar, Kieran, Johnny M, Francois Koch, John Boy Cat, and the Butcher of Manchester. Thank you so much for sharing out the show there. You're a bunch of legends. Okay, let's have a little look at the chat. Thank you, guys. Something could be put into the contract to keep the players away from discussing the club on social media. Well, it should be an instant massive fine, shouldn't it? Yeah. I mean, I would say it's probably grounds for a breach of contract, or I don't know. You could maybe dismiss somebody based over that. You know what I mean? But obviously, it wouldn't be worth it because we want to sell him. Godzilla says, my wife's got a massive fanny pig. How you doing? My wife's got a massive fanny pig. How you doing? Bloody hell, Godzilla. I didn't say that twice, mate. It just echoed. You missed standing in line waiting to get in the Stretford end of the scoreboard. Paddock, epic times. Ronster, lad. Let's go, mate. Summer is almost over. And Mbuemo is in. 73 million. And Mbuemo wants 5 times his current wages guaranteed melt incoming. Nah, I don't know about that, mate. He's already agreed personal terms verbally with us, lad. I mean, he was on, I think, what was it? Yeah, so maybe it is 5 times, actually, because he was on 45,000, I think, at Brentford. So, you know, it's probably not too far away from it, but I think he's probably more closer to 150 to 200k. I might do, you know, there, Daz Salford, lad. Yes. Will you go to Lisbon and pick up Gyökeres yourself if you get 100k this summer? No. Piggy, do players have to agree to go on loan? Yes, mate, they do. They have to agree to move. They have to agree to go anywhere. They can just sit on their Todd and collect their paycheck if they want. That's why it's so wrong. Football contracts, they're just so much in the favour of the player. It should be more performance-based, if you ask me. There should be a couple of outs for the club as well. You know, I get it. Beforehand, it wasn't fair. You know, and then, you know, like that, they had that Bosman ruling back in the day to allow players to move free and all that sort of stuff at the end of their contracts, because it didn't used to be the case. But I think it's gone the other way now. It's like these players get everything. Say they've got a 5-year contract on £300,000 a week. They can just, as long as they turn up for training and as long as they, you know, are available and they go do the bare minimum, they can, you know, they can do what they want, really. They could just sit around and do whatever. Obviously, if you don't turn up, if you do this, do that, then you're going to get fined. You're not going to get paid. But if you just turn up and go through the motions and do what they've asked you to do, even if you're training away from the rest of the team, you can still get all your money, mate. And it's just wrong, isn't it? So, yeah, players are quite happy to sit on their contracts. What's going on there, Cypher, lad? You was at Old Trafford when Brian Robson signed on the pitch, and that was considered dramatic. Wow, times have changed. Oh, my God. What a legend he was, lad. Bobby, India's transfer window opened early this year. That's why they don't align. That's a fair point, actually, Indy. Yeah, that's a fair point. I didn't think about that. So, well, I don't know. It only opened up a couple of weeks earlier, though, didn't it? They opened up a couple of weeks earlier for the Club World Cup stuff. That's true. Club penny pinching's just boring. Takes the shine off the transfer window. Probably I will, Sean Lim. Yes, I will. Next year you'll be a billionaire. Love that line from Many Force and Horses. Nice one, Rodders. Garnacho should join the movies instead of playing. These PSR rules are completely stupid, I agree. Oh, Kate says, anyone else have lag? Oh, no. Pig, really hope they stick to this new wage structure now. We can't sell players because of previous mistakes. I'm with you, mate. It actually doesn't really make sense to bring in players like Osman right now, or crazy money players. Who do you want to replace Casemiro and Martinez with? Martinez, I don't really want to replace Martinez. In terms of Casemiro, long term, you know, I don't know. I do like this Palhinha link. I know he's getting on a bit as well, but that Palhinha link is a nice one. Maybe long-term replacement for a few years. Yeah, I don't know. I like Adam Wharton as a midfield option. You hate mad lag, then it's just me. Oh. Fat Chinese Gaming, how you doing, lad? Too right, Pig. Imagine if us go back to work being lazy, we'll be sacked. 100% if we're lazy, we'll be sacked. Also, if you turned up there, Fat Chinese Gaming, and you're working at, at an Apple store, if you work at Apple, yeah, and you turn up wearing... if you turn up wearing a Samsung t-shirt, do you think they're going to be happy with you, mate? No, they're not. They're not going to be happy with you, mate. You're just doing it on purpose to piss people off. Godzilla, thank you so much for the 5,001 super chat there. Yes, he says, love this community and your entertainment, Pig. Hope you get the house soon. Oh, thank you so much, Godzilla. Yeah, well, it's coming to a head at the start of July, that's our last chance to apply, so we're applying then. Yes, mate. Thank you so much, Godzilla, for that. You're a legend. Appreciate you, Mr. Godzilla. Let's get some love in there, guys. Thank you so much. Repercussions for underperformers, 100% win, draw, or lose. They still pick up astronomical wages. Yeah, so there should be heavier incentives, heavier performance-based, bonuses. No lag for me. Wharton, Godzilla. You're lagging as Ten Hag's around. I just hope Ten Hag does do the right thing and comes and signs at least one of our players this summer. Not Sancho, but that's not going to happen. But maybe a Garnacho. The most likely, I suppose, would be somebody perhaps like an Anthony, just because he really likes him. Martinez is injury prone. Well, it remains to be seen. He has been out injured a long time. We seem to have a lot of injury proneness at the back, so it is a concern. But if it happens again this season, then he's just going to be another one of those injury-prone melters. Troublemakers will be gone. We'll be in a much better place. Yeah, true. Onana still playing Man United. I've got a transfer. He's still here, Fads, and apparently he's still keen to stay and wants to stay and play for us this season. However, United haven't made it clear to him or anybody else yet that he's going. So we haven't signed anybody else yet. If we were to look at bringing in the likes of Martinez or Costa or a goalkeeper, then of course he'll get the message, won't he, that he's surplus. But right now we haven't done that. Right now there's an expectation we're going to go for a goalkeeper. We haven't done that yet. But if we don't, then we're crazy. Casemiro disrespect is crazy. Without him last season, we wouldn't have got anywhere near the way. But I'm with you. The last few months from Cassie were brilliant. He's still a good, experienced player. Maybe he just doesn't fit the mobility that we need for sort of Amorim's system to a degree. But he's still a great, sitter. He could just sit and protect and distribute. He's obviously very wily. And he's always a goal threat as well. He's just got a great knack of movement in the box when those crosses are coming in, free kicks, corners. He has got a great knack of getting on the ball. Better than anyone, I'd say, actually, from my observation watching. He's always on the end of these crosses. Onana will have to go because Martinez is not going to come and play second fiddle. Yep, that's true, Paula. Yep, that's absolutely true. Well, Martinez, I think, would know that, I think whoever we're going to be bringing in is going to be told they're the number one, Surely if you're the boss, then you want pay and you do as you're told. If not, hit the fucking bricks. Well said there, Wayne the Red Lad. Didn't turn up to a game with an Aston Villa shirt on, Pig. Not the same. No, I didn't say a game. I just said turn up. I didn't say a game. Could have been training, could have been, your mama's Sunday roast. On this occasion, it was on Instagram. He's posted it. Even worse, mate. Even worse, mate, because he's posted it himself and he's put the picture on. He's not just casually chilling and a paparazzi's got him. Oh, no. He's actually posted it himself, lad. Great analogy using the Apple Store with a Samsung t-shirt. Thank you, Gregory, lad. Paulina's perfect, especially with Bruno. They played together since kids in Portugal. Garnacho needs Timo. Wharton is perfect long term. I like your style, Ryan Phillip. Yeah. Expensive, though, but would be very good. Yeah, long term. Hope the club are working on getting Shaw out as well. Tough work, that. Frey Bentos FC in Uruguay might be interested. Get your pie emojis in there. Is Mount going to do good this season? What's his ceiling? No, and his ceiling is the floor. Shame Leicester went down. We could have offloaded them all to Rude. Oh, so true. Well, I think Rude's getting sacked 1st of July, isn't he? I heard a report, anyway, that they're looking to sack Rude, but they're waiting to the next financial year to do so. Yes, I do, Abdul Hanif. I'm getting on it, lad. If you worked at an Apple store and got sacked for wearing a Samsung shirt on social media, that's wrongful dismissal. Well, he's not going to get sacked, is he? He's going to get sold, But if Samsung wanted to buy out his contract, if he's twerking for Samsung and Samsung wanted to buy out his contract, then they could. I mean, they couldn't sack him, I suppose. No, they couldn't sack him, but we're not sacking him, are we? Bruno liked the post and us said, yeah, I'm a little bit surprised about that. I saw afterwards. I mean, I guess liking a post doesn't mean that much. It's not like you've posted it. Maybe he's just liking the post because, it's ironic. I don't know. But it is a bit gash. He shouldn't have liked the post. I'm with you there as well. He's our captain. He shouldn't be liking that post. Good shout. He should have written on it he should have just put a face, one of those shocked faces on it. Like that. Like, what? You know, not like get shocked face. That would have been better, mate. Yeah, the Glazers are the main problem, 100%. Nick says, as a Villa fan, I absolutely don't want Garnacho. He has the ego of Ronaldo, but the ability of Darwin Núñez. Yeah, so you wouldn't take him then, no? Would you prefer Rashford? I mean, Rashford's more proven for you guys. Rashford's better, of course, more experienced and stuff, but his wages are not going to happen for you, is it? So I think Garnacho's the most likely out of them, you know. Pre-season tours very soon. We're going to struggle to sell. Imagine your Audi boss seeing you wearing Lidl uniform on any social media. You would be fired 100%. I don't know if you would be fired. Could you be fired for that? It's not really the same thing, though, is it? Because nobody has an interest in Jill working at the checkout of Audi. If she were followed by millions of people and there was, you know, it would be different. But I don't know. I don't know if you would be fired for that. Maybe. Forest will sign 3 Brazilians for 60 million and kill us again next year. Yes, probably. You think we'll go all out next year for a midfielder like Wharton or Baleba? Yeah, good shout, lad. If you like Samsung, then quit your job and go to Samsung. There you go. Well, how do you quit your job, though, if you're a footballer, you know? I mean, they're not going to do that, though, are they? Because they've got so much money coming in. I think the Cunha signing's fantastic, lad. Yeah, I'm really buzzing to see him in a United shirt. Just need to add Mbeumo to it now. I'm really frustrated and pissed off that the Mbeumo deal's still not happened, but I think it's just going to be 1st of July. You're hoping Garnacho will follow his idol Ronaldo and pay to get out with Erik ten Hag. Well, that's what Ronaldo did, isn't it? He terminated his contract. That's why Ronaldo's a don. You know, he didn't ask for money. He just wanted to go. You bet Bruno Auto likes all his teammate posts. Don't even consider getting a number 1 keeper out. Most of number 2 and Nana's going to be hard to do. I don't know. I think we'll get a number 1, mate. But at the end of the day, if we do sign another goalkeeper, then Onana's going to probably want to go anyway. Why would you like seeing your teammate in another team's shirt? He's our captain. Can you imagine what Roy Keane would have done to Garnacho if he was our captain? No, you're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right. I don't get why he's liked it either. But maybe he knows what's going on. Maybe he knows he's going to get sold, you know? So he's just like, yeah, I can do one, you little twat. Bruno is captain. He should have been stripped of the captaincy. If Casemiro was captain and did that, the fan base would be out with the pitchfork. Why would they? I don't think it's any difference, Casemiro or Bruno doing that. Honestly, I don't think it's great. I don't think it's great that Bruno's liked it. But let's not try and pretend that what Bruno's done by liking an Instagram post there is anywhere in the same ballpark as what Garnacho's done by posting it wearing the Aston Villa shirt. Let's not pretend that's anywhere in the same ballpark, you know. Bruno should have put wanker. Yeah, definitely. You own free time. I think that's allowed. If he was wearing Aston shirt because a friend of his is a Villa fan and died, I could understand them, but totally stupid. Oh, yeah, if it was a tribute, you know, if it was like, oh, you know, Jimmy, rest in peace, that's different. But it said Rashford on the back. Should bring a young and up-and-coming goalie in. If Onana isn't going, they wouldn't mind being nosy and will get to play. Absolutely. Bye-bye, Gashford. Probably not, to be honest with you, mate. Just work for Asda. You can be sacked for making any sort of post on social media that could cause issues. I always remember Mrs. P telling me when she used to work, she worked at Debenhams when she was a teenager. Debenhams. I don't even think they're still around anymore. I don't know. But that she used to work at Debenhams, right? And she posted, these are back in the day when Facebook was first around, right? She posted something replying to her friend, which said, you know, like somebody asked, oh, how's the new job going? This is like weird when back in the day when people used to speak on each other's walls. Anybody remember those days? Smash a 1. Not like now where you just do that in DM kind of thing. But it was like people used to speak on each other's walls a lot more back then. Anyway, so somebody said, how's the new job going? And she said, yeah, it's all right, not loving it, or something like that. Next day at work, she's called into the office by her boss. We've seen this post on social media. What's your problem with working here? You don't want to work here? We need professional, all this stuff. Getting the old beat down because she said, yeah, it's all right, you know, on social media. So you're absolutely right. It does obviously have an effect. But they shouldn't have been allowed to do that. I said to her, she should have told her to piss off. Especially back then, you know? Anyway. You remember. Okay, guys. Anyway, listen. Thank you so much for watching this, guys. You're a bunch of legends, and thanks for the chat. I've got to wrap this sucker up. But, hey, listen, do us a favour, would you? We are growing the gaming channel. We're on 7,000 subscribers. We hit it last night, just about. But we're trying to grow it. Also, there's a new short on my gaming channel here. Everyone who goes over there in the next 10 or 15 minutes and smashes a like and comments on it will be entered into a t-shirt giveaway, which we'll be drawing tonight on the gaming channel. That's right, Flying Pig Gaming. Here it is right here. Go over to this short. It's just a random little short of my team on Ultimate Team. There it is, 20-second short. Go smash a like on it. I don't know why I put FC25 stream. Hang on, that's bullshit. Giveaway here, comment here. So yes, please go and subscribe to my gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming. We're trying to grow the channel there. Also, go and smash a like on that short and comment, and you'll be entered into a giveaway. Everyone who comments will be entered into the giveaway. Thank you, everyone who's commented on this, or interacted on this stream. Big ups, you absolute legends. Thank you to all the dons in the chat: Connor Walsh, Kieran, Paul Warby, MB Creator, Arsenal Manic, Disco Dave, Thornster11, Paula Zidane, Vincent Bullock, Mikhail Kramer, Master Yoda, Sean Lim, Daz Salford, Stan Kask, Let's Go Nick AV, Daniel Lowe, Wayne the Ref, Connor, Mikhail, 3187 Bruh, Daz, Daniel, Superstar, and everybody else as well. That's it from me. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for liking. As I say, go over to this link right here and please do us a favour and subscribe to Flying Pig Gaming and comment on that for a giveaway. Right, that's it from me. Follow us on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Links in the description. Garnacho out. Sell the melter. Get him gone. There is a swift sale expected. See you later on, pal. You can't be being an egomaniac little prick making waves, posting guff on other people's shirts online. It's a disgrace. See you later on, lad. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Have a great day. I'll be back tonight at the bare minimum with a 10 p.m.-ish transfer news show. Make sure you're liked and subscribed. That's not what I mean, sorry. Make sure you've subscribed and clicked the bell icon for notifications there, and you will not miss the show at 10 p.m. And if there's anything big or breaking, i.e. an Bremo Here We Go or an Ornstein Bomber, we'll jump straight on, so keep a lookout. But anyway, thanks for that, guys. Have a great day, and remember, Piggy loves you. And also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Get in there, you beauties. Thank you so much to all the patrons here for supporting the channel on patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. As a thank you, all you legends will be appearing on this outro list. Get in there. Once again, thank you to all the YouTube members, but one of the best ways you can support the channel is on patreon.com, so check it out. Patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. And once again, a big thank you to all the legends that do support the channel on Patreon. Get in there.